I am Dr. M.D. Shah and you are watching me on CFI.com.
Doctor, please explain us the role of a pediatric pulmonologist as an expert.
As respiratory disorders are the major cause for pediatric illnesses, and as the average pediatrician and family physicians have not enough time to update themselves on management of these cases, pediatric pulmonologist helps them by his expertise in properly managing such cases. He also helps them by organizing seminars on respiratory illnesses and also arranging workshops on the same subject, thus enlightening the pediatric faculty on expert management of these cases. He also, by contributing in the journals, educates the medical faculty on the various diseases which may affect the child in pulmonology. Pulmonology is a vast field and therefore it is necessary to have a proper guidance to all the practicing pediatricians.
How can an expert pediatrician help to reduce infant and child mortality?
The process will start right from conception. By preventing malnutrition in the mother and by avoiding drugs which can harm the fetus, it can lead to reduction of neonatal mortality. It will also prevent low birth weight babies and preterm babies in whom the mortality is very high. After that, during the neonatal period, the pediatrician can play a very vital role. 60 to 70% of the infant mortality occurs in the first month of life. And by providing an expert neonatal care, considerable mortality in this period can be reduced. After the neonatal period, during infancy, pediatrician and the pulmonologist can advise the parents regarding proper nutrition, vaccinations and prevention of accidents and thus reduce the mortality and morbidity. After 2 years or preschool years and school years also the same process continues, but in addition the pattern of disease changes and those diseases also can be if properly and early treated, it can reduce the mortality and morbidity considerably.
Foster healthy lifestyle.
Fostering healthy lifestyle is very important as many of the physical and mental problems are caused by faulty lifestyle. During infancy, the parents should recognize the need for allowing the children adequate outdoor activities as well as some time for study and also provide them with recreations which are very healthy. During school period, also the parents should encourage a lifestyle which will balance the need for study, need for play and need for recreations. Hence, they should also emphasize to the children that they should not overuse or misuse the mobiles, computers and TV. They should use them judiciously and should not overuse them at the expense of their study and other activities. So a balanced and lifestyle which allows the child to study well, to take interest in sports and also mix with the other children and peers and enjoy life by healthy recreations is necessary.
Developmental disorders.
Developmental disorders are those disorders which affect the child's development. Pediatrician's duty is to assess the development of the child whenever a child is brought to him. For whatever cause the child is brought, the pediatrician should take it as an opportunity to assess his development. This development should be assessed in various spheres: physical, mental, social, intellectual and emotional. And if there is a retardation in any one or more of these spheres, the cause should be investigated and remedied.
Infectious diseases.
Infectious diseases in our country are the major cause of childhood morbidity and mortality, and this should be first prevented by improving the nutrition of the child, which leads to the better immunity, and by vaccinations. However, some infections cannot be prevented, and those infections which cannot be prevented should be diagnosed very early and referred to timely to the pediatrician for expert management. A timely reference can lead to lot of reduction of morbidity and mortality which may result from infections. So education of the parents and medical fraternity regarding the various aspects of infections is a must.
Genetic defects.
There is an explosion of knowledge nowadays in genetic disorders. We have now the expertise to detect and diagnose genetic disorders early, even in intrauterine life. Hence, this knowledge should be utilized to diagnose genetic disorders early in life, especially in families which are prone to develop such diseases. If there is one incidence of a genetic disease in the family, in that family similar cases are more likely to occur, and these families should be particularly investigated to detect early any genetic disorders, and if they are timely referred, lot of damage can be prevented, and some of the genetic diseases nowadays can also be prevented and cured by genetic therapy. As for example, cystic fibrosis, there is now genetic therapy given to cure these diseases.
Stress or anxiety disorders.
Stress and anxiety disorders are nowadays increasing in menacing proportions. The parents have high expectations from the child, and they want the child to excel in all the fields, and when this child is not able to meet their expectations, they try to goad the child, they humiliate the child, they sometimes fire the child and try to goad him to do better and better, not considering the limitations of the child. This creates a lot of stress and anxiety in children. Parents should accept the child and love the child for what he is with all his limitations. They should understand his limitations as well as his gifts, his expertise, and they should encourage by appreciation rather than discourage by depreciation, because that depreciation leads to anxiety and lack of confidence in the child. Another factor which leads to, particularly in older children and adolescents, is their desire to excel and gain social recognition and respect in the peers. This they try to achieve by very hard work, but if they are not successful, then it creates a lot of anxiety and stress. Hence, the parents should tell them to keep realistic goals in their mind and not try to achieve unrealistic goals. Secondly, parents, particularly in adolescents, they try to force their likes and dislikes, their expectations on the child. As for example, some of the doctor parents want their child to be a doctor, not taking into consideration his aptitude for becoming a doctor. Say, as for example, if Sachin Tendulkar, who had an aptitude for cricket, was forced by his parents to become a doctor, he would have been a frustrated adult and individual rather than such a successful genius in cricket. So, parents must recognize the aptitude, the tendency and the talent of the child and guide him accordingly and not try to force their views and their ideas about what the child should do. Because this unnecessarily creates anxiety, stress and often frustrations in the adolescents.
How, according to you, can the parents monitor their child's growth in a simple way?
Yeah, the most simple way is to measure his weight, head circumference, chest circumference and height and upper segment and lower segment and compare them with the normal standards expected for this particular age. However, they should also take into account the variability in these parameters which depend upon the genetic factors, race and environment.
And to end the conversation, kindly convey your expert advice on basic child health care.
Basic science health care is, we should define its goal. First of all, the goal is of basic science health care is that child should grow, should achieve his genetic potential in physical growth and also achieve his mental, emotional and psychological and intellectual development. That is the basic goal of health sciences. For achieving this physical growth, adequate nutrition is necessary, on which the parents should be educated. For achieving the psychological and intellectual and emotional growth, the parents should satisfy the emotional needs of the child. They should love their children for what they are, and whether they are genius or a dullard, they should love them and not for what they've achieved, but just love them for what they are. That will help. And they should nurture the child in an environment where there is love, freedom of expression, fearlessness and appreciation and understanding. Appreciation and understanding stimulates the child to do better and better rather than criticizing and depreciation. So the parents play a very important role in both the physical, mental and psychological development. And lastly, the spiritual development, if you want in your child, then parents should set an example rather than precept. Because as you know, the example always works better than precept. And therefore, if there is a spiritual environment at home, naturally the children also will grow and develop spiritually.